G'day everyone, and thanks for coming out on this wet evening, and thanks Jill for inviting me here. I'm here as the Queensland Senate candidate for the Jackie Lambie Network. Like Jackie, I am a veteran, and in fact we joined the Army together on the very same day, in the very same platoon a very, very long time ago. However, serving my country once is not enough, and I want to serve again, and I want to represent you in the next Senate. I think a lot of people forget about the power of the Senate, and Jackie has shown you how much she can get done. And the one thing I want to call out here is the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide, for her doing a great job standing up for bloody veterans who were just tossed aside after serving their country. At the Jackie Lambie Network, we're not interested in left and right. We stand up for what's right and wrong. For example, how is it right that other countries pay less for our gas than we do? The JLN has been pushing for a national gas reserve policy for the past 3 years. We must reduce power bills for those who need it. We need cheaper energy, not just for households, but for our businesses, because we want to make Australia make again. We should export steel, not iron ore. We export lithium, but you tell me if you think, shouldn't we be making the batteries here for Australians, not sending all of our IP, all of our people offshore to buy it back at 10 times the price? We want to freeze foreign investment for residential properties. Isn't it wrong that young Australians can't get into the market because cashed up foreigners are outbidding them for real estate? Our state gets hammered relentlessly from natural disasters, and while we are grateful for the ADF, they shouldn't be the first phone call that we make when we're in a time of need. We need a climate army of volunteers. When Jackie chaired the disaster resilience inquiry, it became pretty clear that we have a massive volunteer problem. My generation, well, I'd barely be able to jump back in a helicopter like I used to be in the army, but my generation and younger are not signing up. We need to incentivise volunteering for young Australians, which could mean wiping out their HECS or apprentice debts in return. We also need to stop the waste in defence procurement. We have Australian defence businesses right here in Queensland that get minimal contracts and money from the government, while they pour hundreds of billions of dollars into the big overseas defence companies. We have one company right here in Brisbane that has to travel to a war zone just to try to sell their products because the Australian government will not buy any of their products. Can you believe this? I think this is truly outrageous. Now, I grew up in the bush and I know how tough it is to get good medical care in regions. So we want more investment in rural health, more GPs out in the bush, and we want families to be able to access services. We all know here that youth crime is a problem, and putting kids on the right path is the solution. Programs like Veteran Mentors get these bloody kids into a boot camp. They have an 80% success rate. We get kids off drugs, off the social media, back into school and back onto getting a career. Now, I'm a single mum like Jackie, so we both know that it was a struggle to pay bills and put food on the table. So we must not take our eye off the ball and do all we can to reduce the cost of living. As a former army medic, I know firsthand you can't put a price on a life. So let's stop Queenslanders dying on the Bruce Highway. Let's stop making endless promises to fix it and bloody well get it done. Our infrastructure is not coping with immigration numbers. We should only be taking specialist trades. We don't need any more dog walkers, right? Finally, we know the Senate has been in minority for a decade, but sadly, it is a minority that is not in the sensible centre. So I implore you, help return the Senate to the sensible centre by voting in Jackie Lambie Network senators. And yes, that's me. Thank you.